This is VOA News via remote. I'm Diane Roberts. 3 ambulance workers trying to evacuate people from their homes in the Russian-controlled city of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine were killed by Ukrainian shelling on Thursday, according to a Russian-installed official in the region. The medical team had gone in to rescue civilians after a first wave of Ukrainian shelling when Kyiv's forces started firing again and they were hit, according to the Russian news agency TASS. On the eve of the one-year mark of the ongoing war in Ukraine, the UN General Assembly resumed its 11th emergency special session on Wednesday to consider a new draft resolution aimed at restoring peace. AP correspondent Ben Thomas has more.
UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres opened the emergency session, calling 1 year of war a grim milestone.
An affront to our collective conscience. It is a violation of the United Nations Charter and international law.
Ukraine's foreign minister is urging nations to pass a resolution calling for a peace that ensures his country's sovereignty, independence, unity, and territorial integrity.
This vote will go down in history.
U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas-Greenfield.
We will see where the nations of the world stand.
Russia's ambassador called what he described as the Ukrainian crisis a catalyst for visceral Russophobia. The resolution will be put to a vote in the 193-member General Assembly Thursday. I'm Ben Thomas.
Authorities in the southeastern U.S. state of Florida say a gunman opened fire on 2 television journalists reporting on a murder scene near the city of Orlando, killing one and injuring the other. The sheriff said the suspected gunman, a 19-year-old, was arrested shortly after the attack on the journalists. He faces criminal charges in the fatal shooting of a 9-year-old girl and the wounding of her mother inside their nearby home around the same time the journalists were attacked. The suspect is also charged with killing a woman in her 20s who was shot hours earlier. Palestinian militants in Gaza have fired rockets into the southern Israel, a day after Israeli troops killed 10 people in the occupied West Bank. AP correspondent Karen Chames reports.
The Israeli military said 6 rockets were fired from the Gaza Strip towards the country's south, 5 of which were intercepted. Israeli aircraft then struck several targets in northern and central Gaza, including a weapons manufacturing site and a Hamas military compound. There were no reports of injuries in Israel or Gaza. The violence comes in the first weeks of Israel's new far-right government, which has promised to take a tough line against Palestinians and pledged to ramp up settlement construction on lands Palestinians seek for their future state. I'm Karen Chamas.
Authorities in Turkey will widen an investigation into building contractors suspected of violating safety standards following this month's deadly earthquakes. The Interior Minister said more than 560 suspects had been identified so far, with 160 people formally arrested. Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has pledged to rebuild housing within 1 year. The European Commission is suspending Chinese short video sharing app TikTok from its employees' corporate phones, the EU industry chief said on Thursday.
The measure aims to protect the Commission against cybersecurity threats and actions which may be exploited for cyber attacks against the corporate environment of the Commission.
The Commission, however, declined to give further details on whether there were any incidents involving TikTok. TikTok said it was disappointed with the Commission decision, saying it was misguided and based on fundamental misconceptions. Ukrainians and their supporters are due to march through Australia's biggest city, Sydney, Thursday, to mark the first anniversary of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. VOA's Phil Mercer reports.
365 days strong is the rallying call for the march in Sydney. About 1,000 people are expected to march through the city before holding a candlelit vigil outside the city's St Mary's Cathedral. Rally organisers say the gathering will honour the heroic resistance of the brave Ukrainian people. Vigils are also planned Thursday in the Australian cities of Canberra and Melbourne. Rallies are scheduled in Brisbane and Perth on Friday. Phil Mercer for VOA News, Sydney.
Nigeria will elect a new president on Saturday to take over from Muhammadu Buhari in a contest. Diane Roberts, VOA News.
Please subscribe, like, or comment. Thank you.